Back with another Madden 25 weekly roster update. Week 4 roster ratings have just dropped, and I'm here to present them to you. And real quick, before we get in the video, if you're here for the first time or if you're returning and you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do so. Click that notification tab so you can stay up to speed with all Madden 25 content, tutorials, updates, etc. going forward. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to go over the biggest risers and I'm going to go over the biggest fallers. But of course, I'm not going to go over everybody. So if you're interested in seeing all the ratings, all you have to do is jump on the game, or you can go on the Madden ratings website. First up, we got Fred Warner, who went up +1 to a 98 overall. Fred Warner has been doing Fred Warner things like he typically does, but after his big game against the Patriots and also having that pick 6 return for a touchdown, he's definitely going to increasingly go up. I can definitely see him being a 99 overall by the end of the year. Derrick Henry went up +1 to a 96 overall. And honestly, after his 2-week span, he probably should have went up 2 or 3 points. He probably should be a 98 or a 99 right now because what he's doing is ridiculous. If he puts on another performance like that this week, if he rushes for another 150 yards, he needs to go up at the least 2 points to be a 98 overall. PS2 went up +1 to a 96 overall. He continues to be Mr. Consistent. He continues to put in work, and quarterbacks continue to not throw in his direction. So it's always justifiable when PS2 gets any kind of improvement in his rating. Aiden Hutchinson continues to ball out. He continues to put on great performance week in and week out. And he goes up +1 to a 93 overall. Creed Humphrey goes up +1 to a 93 overall. Mike Evans goes up +1 to a 93 overall. And honestly, after last night's game, he's probably going to go up +1, maybe 2 again next week in their update. Christian Darrisaw goes up +1 to a 92 overall. Terry McLaurin goes up +2 to a 91 overall. With the emergence of Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin actually having a quarterback throwing his way, he's finally starting to get the targets that he deserves, and he's finally starting to capitalize on those opportunities that he's been given. Aaron Jones goes up +1 to a 90 overall. Ronnie Stanley goes up +1 to a 90 overall. Kyle Hamilton goes up +1 to a 89 overall. Xavier McKinney goes up +2 to a 88 overall. DJ Reed goes up +1 to a 87 overall. Jabril Peppers goes up +1 to a 87 overall. Taylor Decker goes up +1 to a 87 overall. Nico Collins goes up +2 to a 86 overall. One can argue that's another guy who probably should go up a little more than he does. He continuously puts in great performances each week and shows why he's one of the top threats in the league as far as a receiver is concerned, and he's obviously CJ Stroud's favorite target. Quincy Williams goes up +1 to a 86 overall. Grady Jarrett goes up +1 to a 85 overall. Jake Matthews goes up +1 to a 85 overall. Nick Bolton continues to be a stout, steady, hard-nosed linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he goes up +1 to an 85 overall as well. Elijah Vera Tucker goes up +2 to an 84 overall, which is interesting considering the Jets have been having a lot of offensive line issues, a lot of protection issues for Aaron Rodgers, but of all those issues, Elijah Vera Tucker seems to be doing his job. Justin Reed goes up +1 to an 84 overall. Diamador Lenore goes up +1 to an 83 overall. Kyle Van Noy goes up +3 to an 83 overall. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had back-to-back games with 2 sacks. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong or not. But I know he's been on a sack tear here lately. So that +3 is definitely justifiable. Pat Freiermuth goes up +1 to an 83 overall. Brandon Jones goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Cameron Bynum goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Carl Granderson goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Drew Tranquil goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Jared Goff goes up +3 to an 82 overall. How Jared Goff is that low? I'm confused, but obviously he should have came into this year's Madden with a higher rating. But to be continuously going up the way he's going up, putting on the performances he's putting on, I can imagine before the year's end, he'll probably be 88, 89. Jackson Smith-Njigba goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Adafe Owe goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Patrick Ricard goes up +1 to an 82 overall. Younghoe Koo goes up +3 to an 82 overall. I'm going to cut it short right there as far as the biggest risers is concerned. And again, like I said, if y'all want to look at the ratings yourself, I'll put the link in the description box, or you could just hop on the game and you could check out the ratings team by team, or who went up and who went down. Now we're going to get into the biggest fallers. This one doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. I guess they're going off of the Cowboys game, but Dexter Lawrence went down -1 to a 95 overall. You can't blame a guy who's getting double teamed all game and his overall team around him isn't holding up their end of the bargain. So that one's a head scratcher to me. Just because he had a poor game because he was getting double teamed the whole time, he shouldn't be docked for that. But it's Madden, it's EA, it is what it is. Chris Lindstrom went down -1 to a 92 overall. Mark Andrews fell -1 to a 92 overall, which is that one. That's a tough one right there. Because I mean, if you're not getting the targets like say so, then I don't feel like that should be on you. But in all fairness, I did see him drop one this past game that was like right there in his hand. So I guess it makes sense. Taron Armstead went down -1 to a 91 overall. Brandon Ayuk went down -1 to a 90 overall. Travis Etienne Jr. fell -1 to a 89 overall. Jaguars, just the way they've been playing, I think I said this the last video, you can see a lot of those guys dropping easily and a lot more often as they continue to fail week in and week out. Javon Holland fell -1 to a 86 overall. Colton Miller fell -1 to a 86 overall. Matthew Judon fell -2 to a 86 overall. That's a tough one right there. Brian Burns fell -1 to a 85 overall. Cam Jordan fell -2 to a 85 overall. Garrett Wilson fell -1 to a 85 overall. And that one's crazy right there. Not that I don't feel like he doesn't deserve it, but the fact that the last couple of years he's been on the rise, and now you finally got Aaron Rodgers there, and it's like the production you thought you were going to see, you're not seeing. So hopefully he could pick it up. Hopefully they could turn it around and get that chemistry rolling, like say so. Bobby Okereke went down -1 to a 84 overall. Chase Young also fell -1 to a 84 overall. Garrett Bowles fell -1 to a 84 overall. Jalen Hurts fell -1 to a 84 overall. He continues to slide. Philly's continuously struggling. We'll see if they change it around as well, but right now he keeps falling. So Jordan Poyer fell -1 to a 84 overall. Rashawn Gary fell -1 to a 84 overall. Tremaine Edwards and Zay Flowers both fall -1 to a 84 overall. Kirk Cousins fell -1 to a 83 overall. Interesting. Landon Dickerson fell -1 to a 83 overall. Patrick Queen fell -2 to 83 overall. That was a tough loss for Pittsburgh this past week. I didn't watch the game, so I can't say how much Patrick Queen contributed to that, but after that tough loss, I could see why they fell. But I could see why he fell, but -2, was he that bad? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Kevin Dotson fell -1 to a 82 overall. Kyle Pitts fell -1 to a 82 overall. Paulson Adebo also fell -1 to a 82 overall. Bradley Chubb fell -1 to a 81 overall. And if I'm not mistaken, hasn't he been hurt? He hasn't come back yet, right? EA making these players fall that are injured doesn't make any sense. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson fell -3 to a 81 overall. That's tough. Gabe Davis fell -1 to a 81 overall. There goes another Jag. And I said that the last week. I'm not going to go too much further into the rest of these. Like I said, I'll supply the link in the description box if you want to check out the risers and fallers for yourself. But that's going to cut it short for this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, if you're here for the first time or you're returning and you haven't liked or subscribed yet, please do so. Click that notification tab so you can stay up to speed on all Madden 25 content, tutorials, franchise rebuild, updates, etc. We bringing it to you here. So again, I appreciate you all. That's been my time. Till next time.